Ladies and gentlemen, in today's tour of Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex from Security Breach built in Minecraft, we're going to move on to the most iconic location of the Pizzaplex and take a look at the main atrium. This stadium-sized room has so many amazing sights and decorations to look at, making it the perfect hub space of this massive build. If you guys enjoyed the tour, then make sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel with notifications on. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and begin the showcase. So to begin this tour, we're first going to begin in the main lobby itself, and that is because I need to show you what the elevators are like that take us to the main atrium. Of course, every single door or elevator is functional in this map, and the elevators also work. So if we're going to go ahead and walk up to this elevator, you will see that the doors open up just like that, and we are able to walk inside this little elevator here that I've made. And these elevators pretty much look the same around the entire map. The only things that are different are the different advertisements for the different attractions around the Pizzaplex. But now if we want to go ahead and go to the atrium, we're going to go ahead and click this button. The doors are going to close behind us, and we get the elevator music that plays. So I'm going to go ahead and be quiet as that plays out. And then it stops, and then the doors open up, and we get the...
Please take this map.
Take a map.
And we get the grand reveal of the atrium. You also saw that there was a little fast fact in the elevator, which said, if you're reading this, then I forgot to change it. And that's because I'm still working on all the fast facts at the moment. So don't worry, that won't be there at the full release. And if it is, then I forgot to change it. But here we are in the grand reveal of the atrium. Let's just go ahead and start off in the center balcony here and take a look at everything at once. This place is probably my favorite location of the entire Pizzaplex, just because of how much there is to look at and how amazing this place is to explore. So starting off with the main balcony, of course we have here this giant map of the entire Pizzaplex. Now of course I don't have any pixel art up on here, however you can use your imagination as this would show off the different areas of the Pizzaplex. We have some pixel art of Chica Fizzy Faz and Freddy Fizzy Faz, and the main sign up here that says come back soon when you exit the atrium to go back to the lobby to leave the Pizzaplex. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on around here. Of course, we have some little prams where you would be able to hide from the animatronics. We also have another one on the other side over here. These things are littered all over the atrium just because there needs to be a lot of hiding places in this absolutely humongous area. So just to make this easier, let's go ahead and start from the bottom and work our way up. So here we are on the main floor of the atrium, the bottom floor, where we have all of the main attraction entrances. And of course, the main party area itself, where we have dozens of lining tables and chairs for people to be able to have parties. I don't know what Fazbear Entertainment thinks, how many friends people have. So we have tons of different decorations littered around the place. Of course, on each side, we have many photo booths where you'd be able to take a picture with yourself or friends, or in this case you're going to be able to hide away from the animatronics. Now these don't actually work in the map, however if you go ahead and change a few things, I can guarantee you can probably make it work yourself. Looking up here, we have the main billboard hanging from the ceiling with 4 massive TV screens with the Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex logo, and of course the giant star that is hanging from the bottom of it. Really happy with the way this one turned out. It was really interesting trying to get it to work just because of the unnatural shape it's in. However, it definitely makes a good part to this build. But let's take a look at these pixel arts of the Cove 4 Glamrock animatronics. So if we get a bird's eye view from this, you can see that I actually managed to make pixel art of the Security Breach logos of the different animatronics. So of course we have Freddy Fazbear, Glamrock Chica, Roxanne Wolf, and Montgomery Gator. Really happy with the way these turned out. Once again, pixel art can be really difficult. However, working with a bigger scale, it allows you to add a lot more detail that helps make this build a lot more accurate. Let's go ahead and walk up to the main show stage itself, where the Cove 4 Glamrock animatronics would perform their showtime, just like we see in the beginning cutscene of Security Breach. You can see each one of these platforms that would lift the different animatronics up in the sky just to make the showtime a bit more interesting. But while we're on the topic of the stage, let's go ahead and look at the center here, and you can see that there is a button in the center of the show stage, which would actually bring the entire showtime lift all the way down to parts and service. Now, I'm not going to show that off in today's tour. I'm going going to leave that for the parts and service tour. So if you do want to see this elevator in action, then be sure to leave a like on this video and comment down below saying that you want to see more tours of the Pizzaplex, because there is so much functionality of this map that I cannot wait to show off. However, I do currently have a showcase of this stage lift actually working on my Discord server. So if you haven't joined the Discord server yet, then be sure to click on the link down in the description down below, so that way you can get early access to some of the cool things that I like to show off. I show a lot of early progress there, so if you want to see some more things in action, then be sure to go ahead and join the Discord server with the link down below. However, while we're on the main stage, let's go ahead and take a look at the atrium from this angle, and I have to be honest with you, I actually prefer this angle than the one on the center balcony. There is so much more going on, and I think it's because you get to see the backside of the atrium. Like the prize corner area up there is so bright and awesome to look at that I just love this angle here, and especially that you get to see all of the main entrance stuff from this side. You don't get to see the main stage with the giant Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex logo up there. However, I must say that this view is much better. Down in this corner here, we have ourselves a save station, which of course works. I'm not going to show all those off because I've already shown them off in the daycare and lobby video. All of those work. This is the first one I'm going to show off for this video, but just in case you were curious, you can actually go all the way down the utility tunnels back to Rockstar Row, so there's just different ways to go around the place. Here we have ourselves a little party lounge where there's a few tables and chairs just for other patrons to be able to go and hang out in different areas. Instead of being in the main atrium area over there where it's loud and busy, you can just have your own separate corner and hang out here. We have another one of these lounges over here, and next to it we have the giant pizza signs that hang on both sides of the atrium. Moving on, let's go ahead and take a look at this entrance over here to Rockstar Row. We have the giant Rockstar Row sign right here, and we have the main doors to Rockstar Row over here, which of course if you walk up to it, the door's going to open. Now I'm not going to go ahead and show that off in this video. I'll leave that for the Rockstar Row tour, but you can see that all of these doors work. So let's go ahead and walk up to this door, and you can see that this is the entrance to Monty Golf. So let's go ahead and take a look at all the Monty Golf stuff, starting with the giant advertisement for the place here. So here we have the banner art for Monty Golf. I've gone ahead and changed all of this to banner art, so that way we have actual letters. And if we go ahead and move up, we can see that it is two giant golf clubs with a golf ball in the middle. Very cool looking. Let's actually go ahead and check out the sub lobby to Monty Golf now. So once again, we walk up to the door, it's going to open, and it's going to go ahead and close up down behind us. Every single door works the same way, so I'm not going to waste my time talking about doors anymore. But here we have ourselves the little ball pit area where this giant tube slides down. Now thank goodness this isn't actually functional in game, because I can only imagine the back damage that you would have sliding down this 90-degree tube here. We have some ATMs in this corner here. We have a little play area where there's just a few play blocks, but of course here we have ourselves this little golf machine ride in the center of the room. Now this isn't functional in Security Breach, nor is it functional in this map. I just think it's a really cool decoration piece to have in the middle of the sub lobby. Moving on to this corner, we have ourselves a little concession stand with 3 benches next to it, a few trash cans back here, and on the other side we have ourselves a little lounge area with a few TV screens everywhere. This place is actually really nice to hang out. It's not very loud or anything, there's not too much going on. It's just a nice little quiet corner where you can hang out while you wait for people or do other things. Here we have ourselves some little cardboard cutouts of each one of the animatronics in their golf attire, and here we have ourselves the entrance to Monty Golf itself with another functional elevator. So if you were to go up to this elevator, you can see that it opens up. I'm of course not going to be going in there because this is the Atrium tour and not the Montgomery Gators golf course one. Here we have ourselves another map where it would showcase the different areas of the Pizzaplex, and here we have ourselves one of the first level 10 doors which do not work for this map, because all the level 10 doors lead to unused and cut areas in the Pizzaplex. I'd assume that in game these doors would lead down to the utility tunnels. However, since I'm not building any cut or unused areas, these doors are going to remain unused for this map. But here we have ourselves the entrance to Kids Cove, this little sub lobby down here where we have ourselves a little beach and pirate theme. So in the corner here we have ourselves a palm tree with a few beach rings hanging on the walls here. We have a little Chica of the Sea mermaid here, another tree, and of course we have ourselves this giant lighthouse here that sits in the corner. You can see that there's a few doors which have the banned sign on them. When we get banned from the daycare, these doors get covered up. I guess it's just an excuse that we don't have to explore that area as it's part of the daycare. But we have another door over here with a few advertisements next to them. This one of Sunny Drop, this one of Chica of the Sea, and this one of Moondrop. We have ourselves a little campfire just using some stained glass and a few light blocks, and here we have ourselves the giant Captain Foxy statue right here, which has gone through a little bit of changing, but honestly, as someone who doesn't do organics very well, I'm really proud of the way that this statue turned out, especially that it's in a different style than the other statues that you've seen in the past of the Glam Rock. So this statue is a little bit different, however, I'm still pretty happy with the way that it turned out. So now let's go ahead and walk up the staircase and move on to the hallway up here that leads us to Chica's Bakery. So here we have ourselves a few different types of decorations. We have ourselves some concession stands, a few ATMs, and a few benches scattered around so people can sit down. Let's go ahead and move on down this hallway where we're going to find ourselves even more things. So here we have ourselves a pixel art of Helpy with a tambourine. Here we have ourselves pixel art of Chica of the Sea. And here we have some more Monty Golf pixel art because we're right next to the Monty Golf sub lobby. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the actual bakery itself. So here we are in the bakery, which has gone through a little bit of changing since the first time you've seen this place. The bakery is one of those areas that I had to come back and change because there was a lot of details that I was missing in this place. So let's just go ahead and take a look around. So here we have ourselves a few TV screens littered around with a few different decorations of candy up on the wall because we all know how much Chica likes her sweets. Here we have the main building itself, the bakery, which can we just say how weird it is, the fact that there is a building inside a room of this massive pizzaplex. This thing gets really weird the more you think about it. But of course we have the giant cupcake that stares down at the player as they walk on through here, very ominously. So we have a few concession stands littered around. Of course we have the Mega Pizzaplex logo, a few distraction machines, and a few coolers. And here we have ourselves a little bench area where people would be able to just relax for a bit after a long day of walking around the Pizzaplex. Some more concession stands and ATMs, and over here we have ourselves a little bit of a factory line kind of thing. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. I'm not sure it's really functional in Security Breach at all, but it's just like a little factory line here of the way that all the cupcakes and different sweets are made is around. So you can see all these conveyor belts stretching all around the ceiling of this room, just going around the entire thing, littered all over the place. Bunch of conveyor belts, lots of different piping. Not sure any of that is actually supposed to be functional. It's all just for decoration. So through these double doors right here, we can go ahead and walk up to them, and it's going to let us through just like this. So now we are in the bakery where we have a lot of things going on. And of course, we have a few cake racks where they'd be showcasing different cakes. We have ourselves lots of different sweet stores right here where you'd be showcasing all the different types of things that customers would want to buy. We have ourselves a golden cupcake in this corner here with the main kitchen next to it. So let's just go ahead and walk into this place so we can take a deeper look into it. So we have a little bit of a sink area where the people would be able to wash their hands. Of course, we have the main color cupcake up here, which I think is supposed to be a functional conveyor belt this time, where the chefs would be able to put down the food once they're completed, and they go down this conveyor belt and pop up right here, so that way the staff bots can go ahead and serve to the customers. Here we have ourselves a little bit of a storage room, which contains the Chica's Feeding Frenzy arcade machine, which I'm just going to tell you now is not functional because once again, Chica's Feeding Frenzy was cut from Security Breach as to why it is not in this map as a playable minigame. Here we have ourselves the main kitchen itself, which has gone through a lot of changes just because, like I said earlier, I wasn't using any of the proper tools to build this place. So now that I've seen all the details properly, this place now looks how it does to Security Breach. So let's go ahead and move on past this door here, and we have ourselves a little bit of a bathroom with just two stalls right here, a little sink area and a mirror, and a little Freddy Fazbear art right here. There's not too much going on, so let's just go ahead and move on out of the bakery and move on back to the main atrium itself. So let's head back down to the bottom floor of the main atrium and move on to the next things that we need to see. So here we have ourselves the escalators that would bring you up to the second floor of the atrium. Just thinking that there's 3 different floors of the atrium really puts it to scale of how absolutely massive this place is. We have ourselves another map area, and here we have ourselves the advertisement for Kids Cove, which just showcases a little beach area with of course the main banner art for Kids Cove, a little lighthouse, and some other decorative pieces that make it look like a beach. To the right of that, there's another balcony up here where more people would be able to sit down and take a rest for a little bit, with of course the giant trees hanging down in the center. Moving down here, we have ourselves more concession stands, and here are all of the booths of where the different restaurants would be of different types of food. So depending on what type of food you'd like, you can go ahead and walk up to each one of these booths and get the food that you would like. But of course, in the center one here, the biggest one is for the most grand, we have the little pizza shop, which would lead to the kitchen that is at the back here, which I'm not going to be showing off. I will be showing that off with the kitchen. Here we have ourselves another map where you showcase the Pizzaplex, and here we have ourselves the little booth area where the staff would be able to give the patrons their tickets to the different locations of the Pizzaplex. Let's go ahead and move on past these escalators and this elevator right here, where we have ourselves the more different types of booths of different restaurants. Now, what's different about this side is that the salads and side booth is actually open, and this is because this is the only one that's open to the player in Security Breach for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why this one is open, but I guess it's just because the game required it to happen. Here we have ourselves another saving station which works, just for the sake of it. I'm just going to go ahead and show you that this does work. So if we go ahead and kill ourselves, we're going to spawn right in front of the save station, just like how it would work in game. Moving past this little canteen area, we now have ourselves the main doors to Fazer Blast. So before we go into that, let's go ahead and check out the sign for Fazer Blast here. And as we can see here, once again, I have resulted to more banner art. Definitely an upgrade from what was there originally. So we have a rocket next to it and a little planet to represent the fighting that you would be doing in space. So let's just go ahead and walk through this balcony just like the one on the other side. It's the exact same thing. Let's go ahead and enter the sub lobby to Fazer Blast itself. So if we walk up to the store and go ahead and check out the sub lobby we have going on here, and unlike Monty Golf, there is a lot more going on here. Of course, we have ourselves the main rocket ship decorative piece that sits in the center, and a little Ferris wheel that sits here in the corner of the room, and of course the entrance to Fazer Blast itself, where if once again we walk up to this elevator, it's going to open up and take us to the other side where Fazer Blast is. We have another little play area, and here we have ourselves the little concession stand, where if we go ahead and head back here, we can find ourselves a little bit of a kitchen area where the staff would be able to prepare the food and snacks for the customers, and there's a little storage room back here. Not too much going on in this place. Now if we look up at the ceiling, there's not as much going on as there is in the Gator Golf sub lobby. However, there are a few planets and stars in the sky, and once again this has gone through a little bit of changing. The wall textures and the ceiling are two completely different blocks than what was there originally to make it really feel like we're in space. It was a lot brighter originally, however changing the wall to black concrete powder definitely make this place feel like more of a space setting. Now if we continue up the staircase, we're now going to find ourselves in the construction zone of the Roxy Raceway hallway. Now this place is definitely not open for the public just yet, just because of the amount of construction material that is around. So let me go ahead and give myself a torch just so that we can see what's going on around here, as this place does get rather dark. So here we have ourselves a little storage container with a few materials inside, a lot of different concession stands. Of course, we have ourselves a forklift here for carrying all of those heavy material. And let's go ahead and walk back here to the entrances to the Roxy Raceway and the Glamrock Beauty Salons. Let's go ahead and move over these boxes here that Freddy has conveniently stacked for us and head down into the even more under construction, the sub lobby to Roxy Raceway. So we have ourselves the giant Roxy Raceway sign up there, a little blimp in the top corner, and a go-kart in this middle center here that would be showcasing to everyone walking around. There is a lot of different type of construction material scattered around the place. Of course, we have another forklift, lots of different types of boxes around the place represented by these oak planks, a few of these little lifts here where it lets the staff go up a few places so that way they're able to reach the higher levels. Here we have ourselves a little container filled with different stones, and of course the main thing to point out is how absolutely trashed this place looks. Like the floor is not finished at all, it's completely made out of stone. It's really hard to believe that this is the exact same room as the main atrium itself with all the bright lights and different colors. Like just across the hall here is the Fazer Blast place, which looks completely different. But here we have ourselves a save station, and of course we have the doorway that would lead us to the hallway that leads to the back of Rockstar Row. I'm not going to be showing that off just because that is a part of Rockstar Row and not the atrium. Let's head out of this area and go ahead and pass ourselves the other level 10 door, which once again is not functional just because they are cut areas from Security Breach. We have ourselves another pixel art of the core 4 glam rocks and a few ATMs on either side, so that way parents can go ahead and get the cash needed for their kids to buy anything that they would like. But let's go ahead and head on to the final area of the bottom floor of the atrium. So let's go ahead and move past this other construction zone of Roxy Raceway. You can see that this place has been covered up as well, so that way they can keep the construction all confined into one area. But here we have the Roxy Raceway art, and this one is probably my favorite of the 4 we have going on here. So of course we have the banner art of Roxy Raceway. Here we have the race flag on top of the desert area, and we have ourselves this little go-kart that is in an angled form, so it was very difficult to get this thing in a way that looked right. We have the giant cover that covers this side of the atrium that would lead to the Glamrock Beauty Salon. I'm honestly not entirely sure why this place is covered up, as it's really just the Roxy Raceway that's under construction and not the Glamrock Beauty Salon. So they could have just covered up one area and left the other one open, but I'm not sure about that. I've just added that because that's how it looks in Security Breach. So here we have ourselves where the door to the Roxy Raceway sub lobby would be. That has been blocked off due to construction. However, next to it we have the other door that leads to Rockstar Row that is once again under construction. You can see how barren it looks compared to what the door looked like on the other side. Sticking to this side of the atrium, let's go ahead and head up those escalators and go ahead and take a look at the construction zone that's going on over here. So if we go down these makeshift hallways, we're going to find ourselves the entrance directly to the Glamrock Beauty Salon, where we have the 2 giant double doors right next to each other. Now, unfortunately, these doors do not work in Security Breach or in this map. However, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and get rid of these doors, as directly behind them is the entrance to the Glamrock Beauty Salon. But let's go ahead and move on out of this construction zone and move past the Roxy Raceway sub lobby and take a look at the Fazer sub lobby from above. So here we have ourselves a little table with an umbrella on top of them, and we can see the Fazer sub lobby from above. It's really cool to see it from different angles, so that way you can see everything that is going on in the Pizzaplex. Behind us we have ourselves one of the updated Freddy recharge stations here. Now they're not functional, however if you wanted to you could add your own if you're using a mod or something. For this build I'm really happy with the way that all of these charging stations have turned out. So here we have the escalators that lead up to the 3rd floor, and next to them we have the little photo booth. As we pass the area of where we first entered the atrium, I'm just going to go ahead and bring up the fact that the entire carpet of the atrium has changed. When I first made it and was going through the building process, I really tried my best to add in some carpet detail. However, I was not able to at the time. However, now that I've gone back and changed it, we now have different patterns scattered all over the carpet of the atrium, and I must say it does look a whole lot better now that there's different colors surrounding the place. So we have ourselves the little Freddy heads and the little lightning bolts that are scattered across the carpet of the atrium. Now of course they can't be shown off in high detail, however what I've done here still does get the job done, and I'm really happy that I finally managed to go around to do this. Here we have ourselves another photo booth area, and behind that the entrance that leads to the daycare hallway. This door links up to the other daycare doorway, and this banner art right here of the Sunny Drop candy here. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on past here to the top balcony view of Kids Cove. Just like all other areas and sub lobbies of the Pizzaplex, we're able to go ahead and look down at the sub lobbies and take a look at them from above. Moving past here, we of course have ourselves the entrance that leads to the bakery. I've already gone ahead and showed this off. Both of these doors open that lead to this hallway back here. But moving on to the final corner of the atrium, we of course have ourselves another map that would showcase the locations of the Pizzaplex, some little photo booths in this corner with some plant decoration next to it, and back here we have ourselves a door that leads to the bakery, question mark, and I say that because this door should technically lead to the bakery. That's the only area that is behind this door. However, in Security Breach there is no other entrance to the bakery, so I'm not entirely sure why they decided to keep the doorway here and not on the other side that leads to the bakery itself. Now let's go ahead and head up to the final balcony of the atrium and go all the way up to the top. So let's head up these escalators where we find ourselves another platform where we can take a look at the atrium. But let's go all the way to the top, so that way we get the grand view of everything underneath us, just to take in the scenery of how majestic this place looks. Taking a look at the top balcony, however, we have ourselves the giant pixel art of Roxanne Wolf up on here. Really happy with the way these turned out. Once again, bigger pixel art is definitely a lot easier to work with, just because you have more room to work with all the different details of the build. Let's go ahead and move on past L chips here, where we have ourselves some different types of decorations. So we have ourselves a few cacti, some different types of banner arts that showcase the L chips itself. And of course, if we walk up to this door, it's going to go ahead and open up only 2 blocks this time. And that is because the doorway to L chips doesn't actually open up all the way. That stops us from letting Freddy go ahead and travel with us to the East Arcade and all the way to the prize counter. Let's go ahead and move on past all of these different types of decorations and move on to the giant Montgomery Gator head right here. So yeah, once again, on each corner of the atrium, we have ourselves a different animatronic heads. This time is of Montgomery Gator. And right next to it, we have everyone's favorite area of the Pizzaplex, Mesa size right here, which I'm not going to show off, but you can go ahead and take a look at what's going on the inside here. And if we go to the very back corner here, we have ourselves 2 more concession booths and another overview of where we can look over the atrium and take a look at this grand view. Moving down to the front of the balcony, we have ourselves some more different types of decorative pieces. So here we have ourselves a few different arcade machines. Like here we have a ring of different arcades, and that is because we are right in front of the entrance of the East Arcade. The Super Starcade is right here behind this door. If you were to go ahead and tear it down if you wanted to, it leads directly to the East Arcade here. However, since this door is not active in security breach, I have left it completely unfunctional for this build. And right here we have ourselves the giant entrance to the prize counter here, where we have the giant sign that says prizes that looms over the entirety of the atrium, with of course the 3 mega doors underneath that lead to the massive prize counter is behind there. We've gone a long way since the simple prize corner in FNAF 2, and now we have ourselves a completely separate and dedicated room to the different prizes that would be going on back there. In front of the entrance to the prize counter, however, we have ourselves the sound booth up here, where you're able to take the Showtime disc and place it right here where the holograms of the animatronics would play up on stage. We have ourselves some custom player heads of TV screens, and up here I finally remembered to add the spotlight that hangs above this place right here. That was another thing that I didn't add to the atrium. However, it is now a feature that makes this place a lot more completed. Let's go ahead and move on down once again, where we're going to find ourselves pretty much an exact mirror of what's going on down here. We have the exact same pixel art, another map of the Pizzaplex, some more trolley booths right here, some more foliage, and here we have ourselves the entrance to the West Arcade, the Fazcade, which is all completed once again. Now this time you are able to access the Fazcade, as this is the only entrance to it. So if we walk up to this place, the elevator opens up, and if we were to hit that button back there, it would go ahead and take us to the Fazcade. Moving down to this side of the balcony, we have ourselves the pixel art of the giant head of Glamrock Chica, so another one of the core 4 Glamrock animatronic pixel arts. Next to that, we have ourselves some glowing star decorations, and next to that we have the advertisement for Bonnie Ball itself, where once again you can see that I've added banners to act as the letters to make this place feel a little bit more authentic. But if we move on past all of these different umbrellas and stools, we find ourselves the main entrance to Bonnie Ball behind this map right here. So once again, this elevator would take us down to Bonnie Ball, but if we go ahead and look at the main pixel art of this, you can see that we have ourselves the giant Bonnie here holding the Bonnie Ball. And this banner art is a little bit different than the other banner art around the place, as usually the banner art is just one banner. However, these letters right here are used using 4 different banners, so it was really difficult to make it look like this. And the main reasoning is because in game the sign is a lot bigger than just the 1 banners that have the single letters on them. So this was a little bit difficult to get done. However, I do think that it turned out quite well. The W looks a little bit wonky. However, I do like the fact that I was able to use double banners to make the letters even bigger than they are normally. But to finish up the tour of the atrium, let's go ahead and move on to this back corner here, where we have ourselves the giant pixel art head of Glamrock Freddy to complete the core 4 Glamrock animatronic pixel arts that surrounded the atrium. Of course, we have some more seating areas underneath, a little concession stand, and back here we have a little play area for kids to hang out and play with a few blocks. There's not too much going on back here. There's just a few little one of these rides here, and there's actually a staff only door right here, which isn't accessible to the player in game. I believe it's another level 10 door. However, this would lead to the back areas where staff would be able to go behind the scenes and make sure that everything in the atrium is running all right. But let's just go ahead and take a final view of the atrium from this angle up here, as once again, looking down on the atrium from a higher view is one of the coolest things to see in this map, and I couldn't be more happy with the way that this build has turned out. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for the tour of the atrium. I really do hope that you guys enjoyed, as this is definitely going to be one of the longer tours of the Pizzaplex, as there is so much to show off in the main atrium. If you did enjoy this tour, then make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel with notifications on, so that way you don't miss out on all future uploads, as next time we are going to be going ahead and checking out the updated area of Rockstar Row. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will of course see you in my next video.